While the fights over Obamacare are sure to go on for probably years, the healthcare law is one of the least understood social programs of our time. A big reason Americans have hesitated to sign up for healthcare insurance is because they just don't understand it. Joining us now to help us all understand and maneuver through the process is Vince Spinelli, a licensed agent with Health Markets, Inc. Vince, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Stephanie. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely great to have you on the show. Thank you for being here, and thank you for helping us understand the process of Obamacare, because, like I mentioned, this has been one of the most misunderstood programs of our time. What is it about the Obamacare and this health insurance process that is so confusing?
Well, it's kind of amazing with everything that's been written and everything that's been broadcast that there are still so many questions. I meet people just recently that are still not aware that the enrollment process has ended. So it's just one of those things because of the changes and because it's actually a bit of a cultural change. People are not used to being told when they can do this and when they can do that regarding health care.
I was going to say,
so it's a little bit of everything.
And you're a licensed agent with Health Markets. Talk a little bit about what you guys do and how you can help people understand.
Sure. Well, Health Markets operates agencies in 44 states. We specialize in providing insurance solutions, personal, health, life, long-term care, Medicare, for individuals and small businesses.
Okay.
So what we try to do is sort through the issues of the individual or the business and come up with a combination of products, because we represent so many that we can just pick and choose and find the right combination to suit that particular need and budget.
So any questions regarding insurance you guys can pretty much handle and help people through, but specifically, specifically today though, when we're talking about health insurance, it is such a confusing process. So to have somebody like you to be able to help walk us through that is pretty important.
Well, I hate to say it, but you're 100% right. Every time we meet with someone that's tried, for instance, to apply on their own, they end up in frustration, they end up in confusion, and many times they end up with the wrong policy. And then we have to try to fix it, and with the regulations, it's not easy to make changes.
Well, and I think that's the big thing too. You want to make sure you're in the right policy, because, you know, if something happens down the road and all of a sudden you signed up for the wrong thing, you're kind of in trouble.
Right, and when you look at the process, it almost creates mistakes, because the process is arduous, getting through the entire application, and then at the end, the applicant has to make a choice. Well, what we do at Health Markets, we have the tools to review all the choices in advance. So that way the person knows where they're going. They know where the journey is going to end, so they're not so confused and bewildered. What's the rate? What benefits do I have? Is my doctor part of it? We sort all of that out ahead of time, so that the client knows exactly where they're going. And
Vince, I mean, there's been so many things in the news, whether it's just, you know, talking about how it's confusing, problems with the websites. What have you really seen? What kind of challenges have you seen people go through?
Well, all of those things are true. There have been delays, there have been technical issues, there have been misinformation and so forth. On the other hand, I do want to say that in spite of those delays, whenever I was able to reach an agent at healthcare.gov, the support was excellent. Even if it took us a half hour to get there, they were professional, they were cooperative, and they would stay with us until we could complete the application. So
there's some
in
good
all the
news
confusion, there was some really good news in that, because no one likes to call for help and then be told to go to a website or to start from zero. So they really were cooperative.
And I can imagine too, when you hear the deadline ending, that can be kind of, you know, a red flag saying, oh, am I going to miss out? But that again is something that you can help them with. If you hear that it's ending, you know, kind of do what you can to get more information about that, because it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get coverage.
Well, yes and no, you're right. There was a deadline of the end of March, and because of all of the delays, the deadline was extended for 15 days.
Okay.
And of course, at one point, the delays on the telephone were 40, 50 minutes. But even after that, people can, if they have a life-changing event, still enroll.
Okay.
And a life-changing event would be something like they lost their job, or they lost the insurance that their employer was providing, or they're married, maternity, adopting a child. So there are opportunities for someone to enroll before the next enrollment period, which is November.
Okay. So what would you say, maybe just to help people understand, what has been the big misconception as far as this? How can Health Markets really help other people understand in the best way?
Well, first of all, just a basic understanding of how to get through an application.
Okay.
The point I made before about preparing for the application, I think is vital. So many people go into it, they spend the time, they get frustrated, and they have to kind of throw a dart and pick something that they're really not familiar with.
So give Vince Spinelli a call here at Health Markets Inc. You can help sort out anything that, you know, is kind of confusing you, hopefully, about getting signed up for health insurance, which, you know, is one of the most important things is your health. You want to make sure that you are covered in case something happens, because you never know.
Correct, 100% correct. And that's one of the real benefits of Obamacare. Millions of Americans that were previously unable to get insurance because they couldn't afford it or because they had a pre-existing condition are now insured. It was painful, but they're now insured.
Vince, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.
We're going to have all this information on our website.
Up next, he is the doctor who knows best when it comes to your smile. We're brushing up on the truth about your teeth.